Good morning. It's Friday, September 28th. There's a major new study out today in Science magazine from a group of very reputable fishery scientists, including Ray Hilborn from the University of Washington. The study is an attempt to look at the world's unassessed fisheries, which is primarily the small coastal fisheries that exist in many areas of the world where there's not the resources to do Western-style fishery management. The idea is what is the state of these fisheries and what can be done to put them on a sustainable footing. First of all, most of the world's fisheries come from assessed fisheries. About 77% of total landings are, quote, assessed. These stocks are in relatively healthy shape. Almost half of them are on a rebuilding trajectory, which is going to bring them up to their maximum sustainable yield. And the others, there are tools in place to do so. The point of this article is to look at the smaller coastal fisheries. When you look around the world, they identified over 1,700 fisheries, i.e. Specific fish species in a geographical location, for which there's almost no real scientific data on life history, stock size, etc., but which is highly important to local communities for food and employment and so forth. What they found was there was a big difference between the smallest scale fisheries and the larger fisheries. The larger unassessed fisheries didn't really perform that much differently from the larger assessed fisheries, and by and large many of these fisheries are near their MSY levels, their maximum sustainable yield levels. But the smaller scale fisheries, the ones which are, let's say, on the bottom half of the total size of the fishery, had real problems, and as much as 64% of these were overexploited and 15% were collapsed. This is where I think the authors said there's some real hopeful things that can be done if new ideas are implemented about fishery management, and these do not require heavy investment in terms of science and stock assessment and so forth. What they do require is better establishment of fishing rights. The single greatest contribution could be to establish community-based or territorial user rights to particular fisheries, and then incentivize people to make these fisheries grow. The authors think that given an appropriate scheme that ends kind of an open access regime or ends a race for fish, global landings could actually increase as much as 40% overall. So I think what's important about this study is not that these fisheries are collapsed, but that in fact we may not have seen the plateau of wild fish harvest that we actually can sustain. The authors suggest that were these smaller scale unassessed fisheries to achieve stability and sustainability, global fish catches could increase substantially. In Lexington, Mass., this is John Sackton.